Welcome to Jerry Recaps. The story continues. The doorbell of the room rang. Lu Xing opened the door and saw the smiling waiter standing at the door, holding a pure black evening dress in his hand. After thinking about it, Lu Xing took the clothes from the waiter and said lightly, "Okay, I understand. Tell President Jiang I will arrive on time." Lu Xing was dressed in a tailored evening dress, with a dark black bow tie tied around the neck of a white shirt. With fair skin, a tall and straight body, and handsome and clear facial features, he exudes the temperament of a wealthy young and noble son in every gesture. Lu Xing reached out and loosened his bow tie, thinking silently in his heart. However, compared to this one, he still prefers the military uniform of the Eastern Military Region, which is more comfortable to wear. It doesn't matter. If the old man wants to be lively, let him liven up for a night. Anyway, I will leave Liangqing tomorrow. Lu Xing pondered over it for a while. Then he picked up the phone and glanced at it. There are not many contacts on his phone, except for family members and a few friends. Lu Xing rarely reads other people's information. He sent a message back to his parents and Lu Qinghe, and then told He Lingsu that he had already learned about the situation of Lingxing Pharma. There was a high probability that he would return to Baihe tomorrow and the day after, and then contact her again. Not long after the message was sent, a reply was received. At the same time, far away in Baihe City, a busy woman grabbed her phone and typed out a 100-word accusation within seconds of throwing her hand away and not doing anything about it. She was about to send the message forward but stopped right before. She was intimidated by Lu Xing's obscenity, and these accusations were quickly deleted, leaving only one word to send. Sure thing. He Lingsu continued to immerse herself in her busy work. Lu Xing put away his mobile phone, stretched his body bound by the suit a little, and walked out of the room. After going down to the third floor of the hotel and coming to the lobby, Lu Xing saw that Xue Fei was waiting for him. Xue Fei was obviously well-dressed. Exquisite makeup, wearing a long red dress, the skirt is slit from the thigh to the waist. The whole person looks elegant and beautiful. Xue Fei wanted to wave hello to him when she saw him, but she quickly retracted her hand halfway up. "Mr. Lu, I'm here." Xue Fei smiled brightly and asked, "Mr. Lu, are you ready for tonight's party?" Lu Xing walked up to her and said calmly, "Just call me Lu Xing." The word "sir" doesn't sound very pleasant. Xue Fei nodded, but her posture was still a little restrained. Xue Fei brought Lu Xing to a hall where tonight's dinner would be held. It was a grand hall with quite a lot of people present, and a huge board congratulating the youngest fourth-tier psychic. Why so many people? Lu Xing frowned. As Xue Fei opened the door for him, she explained in a low voice, "Elder Jiang is one of the most important people in Liangqing. Many things are not something he can keep low-key if he wants to. This is already a small scene after Mr. Jiang tries his best to suppress it." Lu Xing originally came with the intention of eating, but now his mind has changed, and he plans to go in later and meet Jiang Jinian before leaving. Before the two of them reached the door, a waiter came up to greet them immediately and offered them drinks. Among the crowd, there was also President Jiang of the Psychic Association attending to different business groups and major families of Liangqing. He has been telling stories about the Lu Xing, the youngest prodigy in the East Province. One of the girls from major families asked, "President Jiang, are you telling the truth?" "It's fascinating yet hard to believe," he replied. "My own eyes came out at the sight of such a prodigy. It's beyond my own belief, but it's true." At the low-key and luxurious dinner party, men and women dressed luxuriously in twos and threes, holding wine glasses, chatting casually, occasionally giving out light and subtle laughter. Jingdandan and a woman stood in the corner, looking at the people coming and going, talking in a low voice. The woman wearing a dark blue evening dress with delicate makeup spoke softly to Jingdandan. "Today's dinner is not easy, see there? The mayor of Liangqing City, and the president of the Wushu Association. Almost all of the people present are prominent people in Liangqing and even the entire Dongning province. If it weren't for our luck, we wouldn't be able to get in. The main reason is that the sponsor of this dinner party is too big, the president of the Liangqing Spiritual Master Association, Mr. Jiang Jinian. You should know what kind of people a spiritual master is. It is much more precious than a martial artist. Even though Mr. Jiang is only the chairman of our small Liangqing Association, the chairman of the Dongning Provincial Martial Arts Association must be polite when he sees him. Hearing the woman mention the words, spiritual master, Xing Dandan didn't know what to think, and her eyes fluctuated. Xian Yuan, could you help me ask if there is someone named Lu Xing in the association? The woman glanced at her and said, Dandan, I heard from Wenhui, you seem to have fallen in love with a high school student you met while traveling? Like a frightened deer, Xing Dandan raised his head suddenly, then shook her head quickly to explain. No, don't listen to Wenhui's nonsense. The woman looked with furious eyes at Dandan and said, You're still pretending to be with me. You've been staying in Liangcheng for a while and didn't go back to school, just to wait for that kid. I heard that he looks good. It seems that he has something to do with the Eastern Military Region? The woman looked at Xing Dandan with a rather helpless look and said, Dandan, what do you want me to say about you? Even if you're in college, I won't care if you find a poor boy with no background to fall in love. After all, you are young, and it is okay to have a few romances. Anyway, sooner or later you will have to break up. She sarcastically said further, But you actually fell in love with a high school student? Your brain isn't broken, is it? The woman reached out and touched Xing Dandan's forehead with a depressed look. Xing Dandan avoided her hand and tried to refute. Lu Xing, he is not an ordinary high school student. The woman was speechless. After a moment she said, Isn't he still a high school student? Forget it, I'm too lazy to care about you. Xing Dandan has been staying in Liangqing since she separated from Lu Xing last time. Because she knew that Lu Xing would come to Liangqing sooner or later to do business. So she stayed home and waited, hoping that Lu Xing would suddenly appear in front of her one day. She sent a lot of messages to Lu Xing during this time, but Lu Xing didn't reply or even read it. Xing Dandan doesn't know if there is any result in waiting like this, but she can only wait slowly. Dandan was pulled over by her best friend to attend the celebration dinner of the Spiritual Teacher Association. The woman looked around and said to Dandan, There are a lot of spiritual teachers at the banquet tonight. Keep your eyes open, tonight banquet is the birth of a new level 4 psychic master. The same level as President Jiang. She further said with a serious look, Such a big figure, even Dongning province will shake with a stomp. Imagine if we get a chance to be seen by such a big figure? Xing Dandan's eyes shone brightly as she heard the word new psychic master. She hurriedly said, Is that new psychic master very young? Xian Yuan looked around and replied, I don't know, Elder Jiang is at level 4, so this new psychic master must be around 40. You may notice many women attending today's banquet, there are even some with ages above 40. Xing Dandan sighed and disappointingly said, You are right, it may not be him. When Xian Yuan heard these words, she furiously scolded Dandan, Are you still thinking about that Lu Xing? Forget about him and focus on today's banquet. Dandan did not focus on her mumbling and kept thinking about Lu Xing. Did you hear me talking to you, Dandan? Xian Yuan said furiously. Just when Xing Dandan was being dragged by her best friend to greet and socialize with some high-ranking people, she suddenly noticed someone in the far corner of banquet hall. She caught a glimpse of a figure standing in the corner eating something out of the corner of her eyes. A boy wearing a blue suit, slender, with one hand in his pocket at will, and the other hand holding a fork and constantly feeding the food on the table into his mouth. Lu Xing? Xing Dandan's eyes widened, wondering if he had read it wrong or had hallucinations. After she stared at the man for more than a minute, the latter couldn't help but look at her. At the moment when the four eyes met, Xing Dandan finally confirmed that this person was Lu Xing. Xian Yuan, I saw a friend, I'll go over there. Xing Dandan immediately left a sentence, and went straight to the figure in his mind. Hey Dandan, where are you going? The woman couldn't even hold Xing Dandan. She looked in the direction where Xing Dandan ran, and seemed to understand something, with a teasing smile on her face. Xing Dandan? Lu Xing was stunned for a moment when he saw Xing Dandan, who suddenly flew in front of him, a little surprised. Dandan was about to call Lu Xing, but suddenly a woman came standing beside Lu Xing. After Shuefei came in with him, he was busy reporting to Jiang Jinian. He was bored alone, so he just walked around and ate at the dinner party. I have to say that the size of this dinner party is quite high, and the buffets on the table are all carefully cooked exotic animal meat delicacies. Lu Xing was eating happily along with Shuefei. Dandan was stunned in place after noticing a woman standing beside Lu Xing. Who is that woman? She wondered. Is she by any chance Lu Xing's girlfriend? Dandan gulped as this thought ran through her mind. She calmed her mind, relaxed a bit, and gathered her strength to move forward. As Lu Xing was busy talking to Shuefei, Dandan waved at him brightly and said, "Hey, Lu Xing. Long time no see." Xing Dandan's face was filled with a huge sense of joy and happiness, and her cheeks were flushed. Lu Xing turned around waving at her and said, "What a coincidence. I did not expect to find you here in Lianqing." As she closed in on Lu Xing, she could feel that Lu Xing had changed a lot in the short time when they were apart. There seemed to be an unpassable gap between them, like they were worlds apart. Shuefei interrupted and asked curiously, who she might be? Lu Xing replied, "She is Xing Dandan, a friend I met at Oxhead Mountain on a trip a few months ago." "Dandan, why don't some friends introduce me to you?" A somewhat mocking voice sounded in the ears of the two of them. Xing Dandan looked back and saw that it was her best friend Xian Yuan. A shyness flashed across Xing Dandan's face. "Let me introduce you." Xing Dandan took Xian Yuan's hand and said to Lu Xing, "Lu Xing, this is my good friend Xian Yuan. This is Lu Xing, the one I mentioned to you before." Xian Yuan's eyes flickered as she focused on the young man. Xian Yuan held a red wine glass and looked up and down at the young man standing in front of him. Appearance, figure, temperament. No matter which aspect, it is the best choice. Xian Yuan suddenly understood the reason why Xing Dandan girl was so into him. Of course, the enthusiasm for Lu Xing in her eyes also dwindled rapidly. She noticed the woman standing beside Lu Xing and thought, is she Shuefei from the Shui family? She smirked and thought, I got it now. That explains how a high schooler managed to get here. Turns out he is one of those plebeians who leverages their charm to rise through social ranks through well-off women. She said out loud, "It turns out that Your Excellency is Lu. Mr. Lu, I always hear Dandan mention you, and meeting today is indeed a dragon and a phoenix." Xian Yuan thought that she was facing a high school student, and she couldn't help but want to laugh when she said these words. The look in Lu Xing's eyes changed immediately. Lu Xing could easily capture Xian Yuan's subtle emotional changes, but he didn't say anything, just nodded coldly and said, "Hello? Where is Mr. Lu from?" Xian Yuan asked with a polite smile on her face. "I am from Baihe City." Lu Xing replied coldly, which caused Xian Yuan to tremble. Then he said lightly, "Are you planning to ask my parents about my family background, and then ask me how I got into this banquet hall?" Xian Yuan's expression changed. She did not think Lu Xing to reply in such a tone. Lu Xing looked at Xian Yuan, who was stunned in front of him, with a slightly playful expression, and said, "Just as you may have expected. I came from a humble background, an ordinary high school student. And I am not in the same social class as you. I found my way into this banquet by chance." Lu Xing then waved at Xing Dandan and turned to leave, saying, "I'll go first, we will next time." In the eyes of outsiders, you may think that he is a little sensitive, but so what? He was originally a child from an ordinary family, so he should be sensitive. For him, his family and friends are the most precious in this world. No matter who they are, if they try to harm or humiliate my family, I will not stand for it, Lu Xing thought. As Lu Xing walked away, Shuefei tried to stop Lu Xing but to no avail. Before leaving, she gave a furious look to Xian Yuan and left with him. Before Xing Dandan could react, Lu Xing had already walked away. She called out Lu Xing to stop him, and subconsciously wanted to chase, but was caught by Xian Yuan, who shook his head at him seriously. "Forget it, Dandan. This kind of person isn't worth it." Xian Yuan looked at Lu Xing's retreating back, narrowed his eyes slightly, and said with some amusement, "I haven't said anything yet, and his reaction is like this. What does this mean? This shows that his heart is extremely concerned about the points he just made. I have seen too many people like this, and they are not suitable for you at all. Xian Yuan's face suddenly showed a bit of understanding, and she stretched out her finger and pointed to the front. Jing Dandan looked in the direction Xian Yuan pointed. Seeing that Lu Xing was standing beside a beautiful and eye-catching woman in a red dress at this time, the two were talking. I can probably guess how he got in here, she said. Xian Yuan joked, Do you know who that woman is? Jing Dandan shook her head blankly. Xian Yuan explained, Xue Fei. You must know the Xue family. Xue Fei himself is a spiritual teacher, and it seems that she is almost at the second level. In the circle of the second generation of Liangqing, she can definitely be regarded as one of the best. Look at the way that Lu Xing and Xue Fei are familiar. I can bet. Xian Yuan looked at Jing Dandan and said with certainty, This Lu Xing must have a chance to enter this dinner because of his appearance, or some other means. To put it horribly, he is almost a soft eater. Dandan, open your eyes and take a good look at his true face. Xian Yuan's words smashed into Jing Dandan's heart like a hammer. Jing Dandan stood there blankly, looking at Lu Xing and Xue Fei who were talking and laughing and behaving intimately, and murmured, No. Lu Xing would not be such a person. Xian Yuan glanced at Jing Dandan helplessly, patted her on the shoulder, and said, I know that sometimes the truth is so cruel, but this is what everyone has to face. That's all I have to say, think about the rest for yourself. Saying that, Xian Yuan stepped aside. Jing Dandan was still immersed in the huge impact of what Xian Yuan said to her. She couldn't believe what Xian Yuan said was true. Suddenly, the figure of a young man as bright as a scorching sun squeezed into her mind. Jing Dandan woke up from a dream. She slapped herself hard. A thought crossed her mind. My God, I would actually suspect that Lu Xingwei is a little white-faced and eats soft rice? Am I really stupid? She looked at Xian Yuan who was confused at Dandan's actions and said, Xian Yuan. Let me tell you, Lu Xing is definitely not the kind of person you said. Jing Dandan hurriedly explained to Xian Yuan, but Xian Yuan thought she was still obsessed and didn't bother to listen to her. At this time, there was a commotion in the front, and someone spoke. Master Jiang is out. Both Jing Dandan and Xian Yuan couldn't help looking up. President Jiang Jinian, who was dressed in a tang suit and full of energy, strode out surrounded by a few people. Xian Yuan looked in the direction of President Jiang and said to Dandan, Dandan, stop thinking about that playbill. The president is about to introduce that level 4 powerhouse. So you should get ready too. As the president came out of the crowd, he noticed Lu Xing walking with Xue Fei and started walking toward him. Xian Yuan, who was noticing everything, could not help but speak out loud, Why is President Jiang moving towards that kid, Lu Xing? The crowd and the eyes of the crowd also followed Jiang Jinian's footsteps. Soon, Jiang Jinian walked up to Lu Xing and said to him apologetically, Mr. Lu, I'm so sorry. Lu Xing shook his head and said, It's okay, President Jiang has a heavy responsibility, and I'm happy if I can help a little. Thank you, Mr. Lu, for understanding. Jiang Jinian was obviously relieved. And then he turned to raise his head to introduce loudly to everyone in the field. Everyone, may I have your attention, please? The one standing beside me is the newly born genius 4th level spiritual teacher of our Dongning Province Psychic Association, Mr. Lu Xing. Mr. Lu is only 17 years old this year. Compared with him, I really feel ashamed. Jiang Jinian did not hesitate to praise Lu Xing's introduction and almost praised Lu Xing to the sky. But just the first few words were enough to cause an uproar in this not-so-substantial banquet. 17 years old, 4th level spiritual teacher. My God! I heard that right. It's amazing, he hasn't even taken the college entrance examination yet. The dragon among men, the true dragon among men. Almost all the eyes of the audience converged on Lu Xing. All kinds of amazing, shocking, incredible sounds are endless. For a time, Lu Xing seemed to be filled with countless spotlights. In the crowd below, Xian Yuan, who had already been shocked and lost control of her expression, was stunned and could not say a word, standing there dumbfounded. The red wine glass in her hand slipped to the ground at some point without noticing it. She only heard Jing Dandan's extremely complicated voice coming from the side. Xian Yuan, you say that a person who steps on the stars and shines like the sun like this, how? Could it be the kind of person you said, a soft rice guy? Xian Yuan's mind was blank as if countless planes flew past her head. The whole person couldn't stop shaking. Xian Yuan stood up in a hurry and asked Jing Dandan, Dandan, you have to help me. But Dandan depressingly said, look at that crowd. Stretching their necks, eager to hand over their business cards. But Lu Xing is completely indifferent. Lu Xing simply does not care about it at all. Jing Dandan looked down depressingly and said, maybe I let my feelings get the best of me. The gap between us is too wide. Our relationship never really had a chance to begin. As Lu Xing himself said, he left immediately after showing his face. If it wasn't for Jiang Jingyan's face and making this dinner more reasonable, he wouldn't even show his face. Fortunately, this place is not too remote. Lu Xing took a taxi and went straight to the hotel. Lu Xing suddenly tore off the dark blue bow tie around his neck, unbuttoned a few buttons at the collar of his shirt, and said to the driver in the front seat, Master, please change your route, I'm going to the high-speed rail station. Lu Xing is homesick. He wanted to go back to Baihe City now. The taxi turned around on the dark road. Looking at the night scene rushing by outside the car, Lu Xing relaxed. On the way back, Lu Xing leaned against the car window and stared at the shadow reflected in the black glass window. A satisfied smile appeared on the young man's face reflected in the car window, and it gradually merged with the lights of thousands of homes in the distance. This is the life he wants. Simple and pure, only family and martial arts are accompanied. After all, he is still an ordinary high school student from an ordinary family. The next morning, at the old apartment where Lu Xing and his family lived, the door of the apartment knocked. Lu Xing's mother opened the door and said, Sheng, you are back. She was quite happy at the return of her son. It was breakfast time, so they invited Lu Xing to sit down and have breakfast first. Lu Qinghe quickly stood up and said, When did you come back, brother? A minute later, his sister Lu Qinghe came close to him and said, Going out for a trip, how come you are so tall when you come back? Lu Qinghe puzzledly compared the height difference between the top of her head and Lu Xing and muttered in her mouth, You're short again. Lu Xing broke away from Lu Qinghe, who was in the way, walked to the living room, and sat down at the dining table. Lu Qinghe followed in small steps and sat down beside Lu Xing with a look of disgust. Lu Xing didn't bother to pay attention to Lu Qinghe's daily, and he easily suppressed her with a single word. Now that the school is closed, you don't have to go to school. After breakfast I will test your strength. Don't forget the message I sent you before. The martial arts tonic I sponsored by me is not so easy to eat. Hearing this, Lu Qinghe suddenly stopped talking. Looking at her eyes that flickered from time to time, it is estimated that she is already nervously waiting for how to deal with Lu Xing's assessment. The more Lu Qinghe was like this, the more Lu Xing enjoyed it. Zhang Yufan brought some food for Lu Xing and asked him to sit down properly and eat his meal first. Lu Xing asked his father while eating, Dad, do you usually eat the meat and medicine I put in the refrigerator? What kind of tonic are you putting in the refrigerator, Lu Xing? Lu Dehai asked. He further said, I drink it with water every day and feel that my physique has improved. I don't know how much. The whole person is the same as 20 years younger. It must be very expensive. Lu Dehai poured a glass of water and sat down beside Lu Xing. It's not expensive. It was given by a friend who opened a pharmacy. It was specially developed for middle-aged people like you. Both you and your mother should remember to drink. Lu Dehai didn't ask much. Xing Yufan also came over and said, You don't have to run outside anymore. It's almost the college entrance examination. Don't go out, stay at home until the college entrance examination. Lu Xing replied, glanced at his parents, and said, Yep, I won't be going out. I will stay at home until the exams. It has been a long time since everyone in the family gathered together to eat a meal. It was a happy occasion for Lu Xing. Lu Xing asked his parents and said, "Since both of you have free time today, why don't you just go out with me and check out our new house? This house is a bit small." Listening to Lu Xing's words, Lu Dehai, Jing Yufan, and Lu Qinghe all looked at him with bewildered expressions. After finishing breakfast, Lu Xing brought his family to the new house. His family was really excited. One of them said, "Wow, this is too luxurious." Watching his family members excited, Lu Xing also felt calm and happy. Lu Xing said casually, "This is the new house. I got through a contract. What do you think?" Lu Dehai frowned and said, "Isn't the old house nice too? This house looks very expensive. Can we really afford it?" Lu Xing shook his head and said, "Don't worry." Saying that, he took out a bank card from his pocket and handed it to the two of them. "There are 5 million here. It should be enough to buy this villa. If it is not enough, I will pay it in installments." Lu Xing explained, "It's the bonus I got from participating in various activities outside the past few months, training competitions, and so on. This is only part of it, and there are still some that haven't been paid." Zhang Yufan spoke, "What? That much money? Oh my goodness." She started getting dizzy as Lu Xing told them about the money had earned. Lu Dehai stood up from his chair with a shudder, his voice getting louder uncontrollably. As he spoke, "Sheng, you are not kidding, are you?" The whole family suddenly froze. Even Lu Qinghe choked and looked at Lu Xing in disbelief and said, "Are you really my brother? Have you been taken away by aliens? Brother, you really won 5 million in 2 months?" Lu Qinghe swallowed a mouthful of saliva with difficulty, shock written all over her face. Lu Xing directly patted Lu Qinghe's head and said, "Otherwise, what do you think? Where should I have gotten it? Robbed a bank or somewhat?" Lu Xing then turned to look at his parents and said, "All right, this new house is officially ours now. Mom and Dad, find time to move our stuff here." His mother started crying out of happiness. His father, Lu Dehai, said, "Sounds good. Xing, this means a lot to us. We are truly blessed." Lu Xing then directly lifted Lu Qinghe from the chair and said coldly, "I am giving you 20 minutes to rest and prepare, and your assessment will begin later." Lu Xing then grabbed Lu Qinghe from her head and dragged her to the training ground. Half an hour later, Lu Qinghe, covered in sweat, was standing, gasping for breath. She was ready to show Lu Xing what she learned in her classes. Lu Xing casually looked at her and said, "Don't just stand there, and show me what you have got." She suddenly jumped from the floor and charged towards Lu Xing. Lu Qinghe raised her leg trying to kick Lu Xing with full force. Lu Xing, on the other hand, did not even flinch at her attack and stood there dozing. Later, he casually raised his hand and grabbed her leg, stopping her attack. Lu Xing looked at her condescendingly, frowned, and said, "Correct your form. How can such a loser be my sister?" A trace of dissatisfaction appeared on Lu Qinghe's face, and she shouted, "You are a ranked martial artist, how old am I? I am not even a full-fledged martial artist yet. You just know how to bully me. I'm not a waste." With that said, Lu Qinghe even started to turn red in the eye circles. It seems that all the grievances she has suffered since the rise of Lu Xing broke out at this moment. Seeing Lu Qinghe crying, Lu Xing's eyes softened slightly. After thinking about it, he said, "You stand up now, and I will teach you something. These are some very practical experiences and tips that I have summed up by myself." When Lu Qinghe heard Lu Xing's words, her face instantly changed, and immediately jumped up from the floor. She looked at Lu Xing with bright eyes, and her face was full of expectations. She said, "Martial arts secrets?" Lu Xing was confused. It seems that the person who just cried was not her at all. "You can call it a martial arts secret manual. Whatever I teach you next. You do it exactly that way," Lu Xing replied casually. Lu Qinghe stood up straight, and her expression was more serious and obedient than ever before. She is most curious and puzzled about Lu Xing's sudden rise. Having been together for more than 10 years, Lu Qinghe should be one of the people who know Lu Xing best in this world. In the past few months, except for Lu Xing occasionally not at home. Lu Qinghe was almost helplessly watching how Lu Xing grew from an ordinary high school student to the radiant he is today. That feeling is like watching a seed grow into a towering tree overnight. Lu Qinghe didn't know how many nights she lay in bed and racked her brain to think about this problem. Everyone said that Lu Xing was enlightened. But Lu Qinghe always felt that there must be some secrets hidden in old brother Lu Xing, and that was the key to his rapid growth. Now, Lu Xing seems to be ready to reveal to her the key secret hidden in him. Lu Qinghe started giggling as she thought, my martial arts talent is better than that of Lu Xing. If I master this, with my Lu Qinghe's talent, won't it be easy to surpass Lu Xing in the future? Then see how he still pulls in front of me? Lu Qinghe had already begun to imagine that he had surpassed Lu Xing, and Lu Xing was lying on the ground begging him for mercy. There was even a smirk on her face. At this time, a cold voice sounded in her ear. Are you always so distracted when you are in class? In the next second, a pair of big hands pressed on Lu Qinghe's shoulders and smashed her body at a strange angle. Lu Qinghe let out a cry and was caught off guard, even the tears that had just been wronged rolled down. Lu Xing spoke with a serious look and said, Shut up. If you don't want to hurt so much, relax your body, concentrate, and memorize the actions I'll teach you next. Lu Qinghe immediately shut her mouth obediently, and her little face became serious. Next, Lu Xing continued to instruct Lu Qinghe to make various postures and movements. Lu Qinghe also felt it. What Lu Xing is teaching her seems to be a set of body-refining techniques. And this set of body training techniques is different from what she learned in school, the general body training 24 styles. Lu Qinghe became more and more serious. Looking at Lu Qinghe, who was completely immersed in the movements of body refining, Lu Xing stopped pointing and looked at her quietly, his eyes flickering slightly. What he taught Lu Qinghe was the national body refinement technique, which has undergone thousands of revisions and will last 10,000 years of martial arts. It's not a complete set, but the 24 movements that are specially selected from it have the highest similarity to the body refining technique promoted by the Martial Arts Association. After cultivating these techniques for some time, Lu Qinghe lost all strength in her body and fell down. Lu Xing sat down and asked her, How is it? Can you feel the effect? Lu Qinghe should know this better than him after cultivating. Moments later, Lu Qinghe woke up from the practice after completing her first body training. Elder brother. Lu Qinghe stood up quickly, because the first time she practiced the body refinement technique so well, her body was numb. Lu Qinghe turned to look at her brother and said, What kind of martial arts did you teach me? The effect is too good. I feel like I can do it dozens of times before I practice. Lu Xing thought for a moment about how to explain it to her sister, where he got such an amazing technique. Lu Xing said lightly, It's the same as what you usually practice, but it's the latest version. Lu Qinghe was a little confused and said, Latest version? What do you mean? Lu Xing explained, like the mobile phone and computer you use now, it's version 2.0 or 3.0, but in fact, the 9.0 or even 10.0 version has been developed in the company's laboratory. It's just still in the testing stage, far from reaching the official launch time. I am teaching you the body refining technique, which is similar. Lu Qinghe was shocked. She hurriedly said while backing away, Then am I now the equivalent of a guinea pig in the laboratory? Lu Xing, being a guinea pig also has benefits, and most people are not qualified to be a guinea pig. Besides, this body refining technique is only suitable for group warriors and has not reached the level that can be fully promoted. Lu Qinghe said with a bitter face, But there are still risks. What if I accidentally practice disability? Lu Xing scolded angrily, I'm your brother. We were born to the same mother, and our physique is similar. I have practiced deeper than you, and if I want to be disabled, I will be disabled first. Lu Qinghe sighed softly. Then 2 of our family are disabled. Who will provide for the parents? Lu Xing got irritated at Lu Qinghe's words. Lu Xing raised his hand and gestured to fight, but Lu Qinghe flexed his neck, avoided it, and ran away. Just kidding, don't take it so seriously. Bro, Lu Qinghe spoke out loud while giggling and running away from his brother. Finally, Lu Xing caught her. Lu Qinghe leaned over with a smile on his face, and asked curiously, "How did you get this body-refining technique, bro?" Lu Xing's expression became serious, and he said to Lu Qinghe in a very serious tone, "You don't need to worry about this, anyway." He then grabbed Lu Qinghe's legs and started turning them. Lu Qinghe cried out loud saying, "You better let me go quickly. You are about to fracture my legs." Lu Qinghe turned to look at his brother and said, "Such a secretive body conditioning technique. You have passed it on to me. There won't be any trouble, right?" Lu Xing's expression became serious, and he said to Lu Qinghe in a very serious tone, "The person who taught me this body refining technique said, absolutely I am not allowed to teach this body refining technique to anyone and let anyone discover it. Otherwise, it's not just me, our whole family is in big trouble." Lu Qinghe was immediately nervous, and instantly made up countless movie versions in her mind. She covered his mouth and said in a panic, "Brother, you passed this body refining technique to me, isn't that?" Lu Xing nodded with a dignified expression, and then looked at his sister Lu Qinghe with a very complicated look, and said slowly, "After all, you are my little sister." Lu Qinghe's eyes turned red all of a sudden, and moved, "Brother." Lu Xing waved his hand at will and said, "As long as you keep this secret well and don't let anyone find out, I should have no problem. Remember, never let anyone find out, not your teacher, your best friend, or anyone else. Because this body refinement technique is related to the lives of you and me, and even the lives of our whole family." Lu Qinghe nodded extremely cautiously, "Brother, don't worry, I will never let anyone find out." Lu Xing nodded, very satisfied with Lu Qinghe's attitude. "Okay, I'll teach you to practice a few more times. After you've practiced it, you can go back to your room to practice." Lu Qinghe swept away the giggling attitude before, and became extra serious, as if she had grown a lot in an instant. Even his attitude towards Lu Xing has become a lot closer. After all, her real brother is risking his life to teach her martial arts secrets. Lu Qinghe was happy. Now that she knew her brother's secrets, she could become better than her brother. On the other hand, Lu Xing was happy that he managed to fool her sister. "This afternoon, I need to go out for a while. I will teach you techniques when I return." Lu Xing spoke and then turned to leave. In the afternoon, it was still in the same restaurant as last time, and it was still the same old location. "Sorry for making you wait so long." Lu Xing spoke while entering the restaurant. Heelingsu was already waiting for him. Heelingsu had already ordered a lot of steaks from Lu Xing before his arrival. Lu Xing thanked her and sat down opposite her. "How is the business doing recently?" Lu Xing asked. Heelingsu replied, "The first listing price of Lingji Zhuangshu's soup is 49,888, which is not too high, but it is not affordable for ordinary people. I position it as mid to high-end customers with a certain level of economic strength. The sales are still good. Less than a week after the launch, the first 200 copies of muscle and blood strengthening decoction have been sold for 1/5, and the repurchase rate is very high. I believe that after a period of word-of-mouth fermentation, it will definitely become a star product in the martial arts tonic industry in Baihe City and even the entire Dongning province." Lu Xing listened to Heelingsu's report. He nodded and said, "Well done. I trust you with this. I'm relieved to leave it to you. Are there sufficient funds?" Heelingsu replied, "It can be turned around for the time being, but when the sales area expands, branches will definitely be opened in the future, and it may be necessary to borrow money from the bank. The money I have left is not much." Lu Xing took a sip of the lemonade in front of him and said lightly, "I will give you another sum of money in a while. You don't have to worry too much about the initial funds." "Then I will leave it to you," Heelingsu nodded. Suddenly Heelingsu remembered something and asked Lu Xing, "You are only left with a few months before the college entrance examination, right?" Lu Xing nodded and said lightly, "Yes, so I won't go out during this time, and concentrate on preparing for the college entrance examination, and I will trouble you with the things in the store. I will move to a new house in a few days, and the address of the new home will be sent to you." Heelingsu's expression was a little complicated. Sometimes she even forgets about herself. The man who was sitting in front of her exuded a compelling aura in his gestures. He was actually a high school student who hadn't even finished the college entrance examination. Half a year ago, he would never have imagined that he would be killed, and he would entrust the fate of the He family to such a person in half a year. Every time He Lingsu woke up in the middle of the night, she would ask herself a few words in a trance, if she was crazy. However, according to the current form, her decision is still correct. If there is nothing else, I will leave first. He Lingsu sat for a while and found that there was really nothing to chat with Lu Xing after reporting his work, so he stood up and said to leave. There are still a lot of things to be busy in the store. Oh, by the way, Ma Fei, I have promoted him to be the store manager. In Lu Xing's mind, a figure of a young man who was lying on the counter playing with his mobile phone quickly flashed across his mind and said lightly, "Just look at it yourself, I won't interfere." He Lingsu said nothing, nodded, and left the restaurant quickly. After the last steak incident, He Lingsu had a psychological shadow imprinted in her mind in the form of Lu Xing. Lu Xing watched He Lingsu's back slowly go away. He wasn't worried about what kind of betrayal He Lingsu would make in the future. The He family seems to be calm now, but in fact, it is troubled, and sooner or later they will come to him. And even if there is no such external pressure, what Lu Xing gave out, naturally, he can get it back. The most important thing for Lu Xing is still the improvement of one's own abilities. Lu Xing raised his hand and called for the waiter, 50 steaks, to pack them for takeout. The forging of spiritual weapons, infinite blade wheel, stellar body refining technique, and immortal golden body still need to be done. With these, the next time Lu Xing faces Grandmaster Valkyrie, it won't just be about running and escaping from her clutches and finally defeating her. While sleeping, Lu Xing stared at the patterns on the corners of the ceiling, recalling what he had achieved in the past few months. At present, his inner strength has already stood at the peak of the 4th level warrior, and he has the capital to completely step into the 5th level at any time. In fact, if you want to upgrade to 5 levels, Lu Xing can already do it. It has been delayed until now because he used the natural breathing method to repeatedly temper his inner strength. It has been tempered twice before and after, and now the 3rd time is about to be completed. The inner strength that was originally pale golden is now flowing in his body like golden amber. The power is also doubled several times from the original. Because the structure of the human body will change, and it is still in strength, the rapid growth of the body, the speed of change is faster. Lu Xing entered the dream space and unleashed the breath of fire that covered the whole area in front of him. His practice over the months also benefits from the evolution of the first form of Shirquan martial arts. For a few months, Lu Xing didn't know how many memory fragments he had absorbed in the dream space. Although it contains a lot of repetitive and useless memories, it also pushes his martial arts to the pinnacle of perfection. The result of this is that Lu Xing's combat power in the first form of Shirquan martial arts has skyrocketed again. This is the overall qualitative change caused by the quantitative change. The same thing Lu Xing did tonight as well. He entered the dream space after exhausting himself and went to confront the Valkyrie Grandmaster. Lu Xing used 2nd level of flame breathing to confront the Valkyrie Master's glacial formation. The area below Lu Xing turned into hot lava covering the whole area, while wherever the Valkyrie Master crossed the whole area froze. Lu Xing clashed with the glacial spear of the Valkyrie Master, stopping her strike with only his arms. The star's power is completed with the first stage of the immortal golden body, and after the 2nd stage of quenching, it continues to break through at an explosive speed. Now Lu Xing can achieve 20 times the power of a star. He is even able to inflict damage on the Valkyrie Grandmaster. Although the damage is not high, and even now he gets hit by the Valkyrie a lot, but he continues to persist for the moment, he can defeat her. The 4 special breathing methods can be regarded as progress. At present, the 3 breathing methods of wind, ground, and thunder have reached the level of control. Breath of flame is the 2nd level control. In addition to allowing Lu Xing to churn out fireballs out of thin air, the 2nd level breath of flame also added a strong burst of splash damage in terms of attack. Of course, this can only be reflected in actual combat. He can now unleash a huge amount of splash damage and can fully confront the Grandmaster zombie head-on. The Valkyrie Grandmaster also seemed to be enjoying these continuous fights with Lu Xing. The breath of wind helped Lu Xing dodge the Valkyrie Grandmaster's attack almost instantly. He could sometimes just flash through the attacks without even getting a scratch. During this period, Lu Xing had been training with the Grandmaster Valkyrie almost every day. And now he can persist under the Grandmaster Valkyrie for 5 minutes without dying. If I break through all my martial arts, can Shirquan martial arts enter the second form? Lu Xing didn't know, but he was looking forward to it. In fact, compared to the college entrance examination, Lu Xing is more eager to defeat the Grandmaster Valkyrie in the dream space. But the fear and intimidation from a Grandmaster could still be felt. That is his biggest challenge at this stage. After the college entrance examination, with no accident, my authority will definitely break through the 4th level. Lu Xing wondered. After he gets the follow-up exercises of the 3 major 11th level martial arts, then make a breakthrough in his strength, his inner strength will be transformed, and you will be able to successfully take down the Grandmaster Valkyrie. The more he fought with the Grandmaster Valkyrie, the more Lu Xing desired the glacial majestic spear martial arts she mastered. Although Lu Xing now has his own weapon. It was like the sound of a long knife unsheathed. Hundreds of thumb-sized silver blades flew out from Xing Lu's back. These blades circled the ceiling of the room quickly, making a high-pitched air-cracking sound. Suddenly, the blades came together and combined into a handle with an uneven surface, filled with countless ribbed half-moon-shaped silver scimitars. In the second week after Lu Xing returned to Baihe City, Tang Maolin credited all the proceeds from the sale of Mean Mine into Lu Xing's account, a full 2.7 billion. Overnight, Lu Xing became a billionaire. Then, overnight, he became a pauper again. Lu Xing spent more than 2.6 billion just to buy the materials for the knife wheel. After some tossing, Lu Xing now has only a few $1,000,000 left. Lu Xing wanted to laugh when he thought of the idea that he wanted to buy the auxiliary materials of the Infernal Blade wheel with 5 million in his pocket. No wonder the spiritual teacher is so highly valued, there is no way. This profession is a bottomless pit that burns money. Of course, after getting the finished knife wheel, Lu Xing still felt that it was worth it. A huge silver machete nearly 1 meter long and half a meter wide hovered quietly above the room, reflecting a mysterious and misty silver brilliance under the illumination of the light. In the past few months, Lu Xing has also successfully mastered the ultimate move in the Infernal Blade wheel. Below the 5th level, there is only this killer move. The introduction of this ultimate move by the Flame Seed Resource Library is very simple, with only 4 words. Can kill the Grandmaster. Of course, this is just a simple interpretation of the power of this move, and the master is not dead, but standing still and letting you cut it is not possible. It just said that it can break through the Grandmaster force field, and there is a chance to injure or even kill a 7th level Grandmaster level martial arts expert. Level 5 can kill a Grandmaster. Well, 6, 7. What about the more powerful spiritual master fighting skills than the Infernal Blade wheel? Lu Xing's whole body's nerves are trembling, and all the brain cells are looking forward to it. And the name of this type of ultimate move is also quite domineering. It is called Eternal Life. He had tried this move on the Grandmaster Valkyrie. It worked so well that the Grandmaster Valkyrie was almost disemboweled. It's just that the Master Valkyrie's fighting consciousness is too strong, and it is not comparable to ordinary masters. The regular moves of the Unbending Wheel could not do anything to the Grandmaster at all. And after Lu Xing released this move, the 5th level mental power will also be completely exhausted, and he will become a waste in seconds, and he will be stabbed into scum by the Master Valkyrie in the next second. So it's still a little short. If my strength can support a few more tricks to live without interruption, the Grandmaster Valkyrie will also have to lie down. After all, she is not a real master now. All in all, Lu Xing's overall strength has undergone a reborn transformation during the few months of retreat. Even he doesn't know how far his current ultimate combat power has reached. Tomorrow's college entrance examination is martial arts. It's the best chance for a test. City Martial Arts Champion, Provincial Martial Arts Champion. Lu Xing muttered to himself, and there was light in his eyes. My goal is more than that. That's all for today. If you like the next part of this manhwa, just comment below. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for getting epic content on this channel. See you next time.